Hello Lovies, and welcome back to yet another video on my channel. So today is a writing vlog. I need to sneeze. So if you guys didn't know, in 2025 I plan to write and finish at least 4 to 5 drafts of a fantasy novel that I'm writing. Technically a romantasy novel. So the plan for today is just to do a lot of writing and figure out where I'm going. Essentially, my plan is by the end of February, beginning of March, I want to start writing my first draft of this book. And the date is currently, what is the date? It is currently the 17th of February, which means I have about 2 weeks left until I have to actually write my first draft. I've been procrastinating planning. There is still so much I have to get into, so much I have to make sure, specifically with my character development and world building. I'm not too worried about having the plot set in stone for my first draft because the plot is going to change, it's going to adjust. I just have a general idea of kind of where I want to go. If you guys have watched any of my little shorts or reels that I've done on my book writing process and where I am, I do weekly updates essentially. Not every week, but most weeks. And so I was in one of the ones I said I was reading this book here, and you know, I have not got that far in it. I think I'm literally on page like 13 or something, which is not that far through the book. And you know,
the stuff that I have read from this has been really, really good, and I don't know why I'm procrastinating reading it.
I think I'm just procrastinating reading as a whole. I feel like I'm in a bit of a reading slump because I was reading non-stop for the past couple weeks, and then last week, I don't know what happened, I just stopped reading. I started reading I started reading A Throne of Glass. Every time I try and say that title, I frick up somehow. I don't know why. I guess I was just kind of disappointed in the books I've been reading lately, and I just don't want to be disappointed again. And people have said that that series by Sarah J Maas is really, really good, and that a lot of people loved it. But then they also said that about A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I loved the first 2 books, but I didn't enjoy the third one, and I kind of had to DNF that because it wasn't worth it to me. Also, don't mind the fact that I literally have 1 nail done. This is polygel. I'm just testing to see if it holds up and if it's good and whatnot. What is the actual plan for today? So I'm gonna write it down with you guys. Okay, so the actual plan. Oh, this is actually a working pen. Wow, amazing. I'm gonna be reading that book on world building and writing. Just like at least 2 to 3 chapters and just figuring out what he's saying and all of that and writing down tips and whatever. I want to do a little bit more of my writing warm-ups and exercises. So one of the main things that I do to get into a writing headspace is I write about my life as if I were the main character, about events and whatnot. And I currently have a draft of a chapter in this thing of an event that I went to and that I had like a great realization with, and I have not finished writing about it, and it's been like 3 weeks since this event has happened, so I actually need to finish that. So I need to finish writing exercise. I obviously want to do more research into Project Flower. I want to build up more of a culture in my fantasy world of who the people are, and so I need to figure out culture, festivals, superstitions that they have and all that kind of thing, which is actually really fun to do. I'm just procrastinating it and I don't know why. So I need to do world building, and then I need to figure out characters, obviously. I think I also want to kind of make like a Pinterest board today or something along those lines. We got a lot of writing to do today and a lot of things, and I'll obviously keep you updated. I want to give you guys a little bit more of a sneak peek into what Project Flower is actually about, because I haven't given anything away of what it's kind of about. Let's get to reading that book. As you can see, I got a little way through it. It's only one chapter, it's the first chapter down, which was on character descriptions. It was actually really, really helpful. I love that he gives a summary at the end of each chapter of the things that you could implement into your own writing. And I think that's really nice. It's very helpful. It like collects your thoughts at the end of the chapter so you're not all over the place. I honestly don't even know why I was procrastinating reading this because it's really insightful and helpful and it gives you a lot of examples. He takes text out of books that he's read and then kind of like elaborates on what he means about the specific point he's talking about, and I think it's really nice. It's really helpful. So if you guys need some kind of like, I don't know, writing a book to read, you're not sure where to start, I would recommend this one. Even though I've only got past the first chapter, I've found that that's been really helpful to me already. So that's good news. I just basically read this first chapter and then I went through his summary and I just wrote my own little notes on it and whatnot. I do want to read another chapter of this today, but I think it would be too much of like an information overload for me to read 2 chapters consecutively, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I wanted to ask this earlier, but I didn't. If you guys have any recommendations on good romantasy, fantasy book series or just books that like you really enjoyed reading that were 5 stars and you loved reading them, please let me know down in the comments below because I need book recommendations because like I said, I've been kind of disappointed with the books that I've been reading recently. I need some more recommendations because I'm struggling. What I'm probably going to do, I think I'm like not halfway, at the beginning of a chapter in A Throne of Glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read that chapter. Oh, well, I'm going to finish reading that chapter and whatnot. And then I'm going to get to doing my creative writing exercise just to get some juices flowing, some creativity going, just to get my mind working a little bit. I want to finish writing that extract that I said I was writing and that I got halfway through and decided to stop. Trying to get excited about writing this book again, but I just feel, I think, a little bit like overwhelmed almost. We're just gonna hop into that. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my TED Talk. I finished doing that exercise, which I'm really, really proud of myself for. I can actually tick it off. Hold on. Now I just got a couple other things to do, which is mainly now actually working on my novel. And it's like already 12:30, but alas, I'm warmed up. I suppose. I kind of want to take a little bit of a break now because I feel like I've drained myself a little bit too much. I shouldn't have done so much. So now I need to do some world building and character development. I really, really, really need to get all the planning that I want done before I start writing my first draft down by the end of this week. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I don't know if I'm going to be writing into the night or if I'm going to take a little bit break now, write a little bit, come back to it. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I need to take my washing down outside. Let me give you guys a little bit more of a synopsis of what my project Flower is about. So essentially, we all know it's a romance fantasy novel. I've said that so many times. It's about a boy. My main character is a male, so it's more from the male's perspective, falling in love with the girl and whatnot, which I think is so sweet. And I've read a couple books like it, and I think it's really cute when you get to see the male fall in love with the girl. I wouldn't say it's a high fantasy, it's probably like a medium fantasy. It's based in the real world and then elsewhere. The two main characters, well, there's three main characters, but the two love interests are contrasting. But I mean in terms of personality, one of them's a lot more calm and the other one's a lot more I'll die for you type of thing. I'm really trying to figure out who they are as people and how they react to things. I think I have my main girl character, I know kind of who she is. It's just my main character's perspective that I think I'm struggling with a little bit, because I know who he is, I know his fatal flaws and all of that, but it's hard to understand him because I guess I'm supposed to be in his head, if that makes sense. I'm excited to build a culture because that's what I'm trying to do today, is festivals and superstitions that the people have and all of that kind of things. And then I want to do a map, but I think that's going to be for another day. I'll probably do a little reel on it. I'm just going to do a little bit more research and planning and prepping for my book, and yeah. You guys are just gonna come along with me, I guess. I just wanted to take a quick second to like show you guys how I kind of set up my planning. So this is obviously Project Flower, and I have literally one document for everything. Obviously, I have my planning and preparation. This is just my synopsis of what my story is, the small little details I want to include, mysteries and secrets, themes, and all of that kind of stuff. So it's just the things that are like little tidbits that I need to remember and just like a general basis. Then we have my chronological order, which is basically just a bullet point document of how things are going to go in chronological order. It's actually really helpful to have this written out, even if it's not, you know, exactly how it is gonna unfold. It's nice to just have like this visual representation of how everything is kind of gonna look, and you can adjust it because obviously it's a document, so it's not like written on paper. Then next we have my character development. So this is how I set up all my things. I wrote this out for all of my main characters, and then my other characters I still need to do as well. World building obviously is my next tab. Obviously we have the aesthetics of the world, magic systems, creatures and inhabitants, any kind of details that I need to add in, they all go into this document. Chapter planning, so this is the actual what is going to happen in each kind of chapter. This is not very specific. I've done it for the first couple of chapters just so I get an understanding of kind of where the story is starting and what's going on and all of that kind of stuff. Chapters obviously might change, but it's just kind of how much information I want to put into each chapter. And then must try to add are just little things that I want to try and add into the story that I think are kind of necessary. Right now this is all like the planning I have, although I did say that I wanted to do like a Pinterest board, but I honestly don't even have a Pinterest board. So yeah, anyway, that's the plans, and I'm just gonna get into world building and whatnot. So went off, and I was like, but it was like on my computer and on my phone at the same time, and I just clicked like it was just actually too much. I have a candle. Alright, so I've done a little bit of planning now and prepping and all that kind of stuff. Went a little bit deeper into my main character and who he is, and just like did some cultural things, some festivals that they do. I actually created some of the foods that they regularly eat and the ones that they eat at the festivals, and I'm actually kind of excited. I want to like draw the foods, because like obviously I can't make them because they're ingredients that don't exist in nature. I think it would really be really cute to like design what the foods kind of look like, and how they're made and all of that kind of stuff. So that might be very fun to do. I think I'm at the point now where I'm stuck on where the story needs to go and how I'm gonna get there. So I just need to start writing. I just need to start on my draft, and I'm feeling pretty good, and I feel like I should just start. I'm glad that I've made that conscious decision now. So yay, that's pretty cool. If you've seen those reading journals where it's reading tracker throughout the year, and then you have your book reviews and all of that kind of stuff. So I've been making one on Canva just for fun. I'll show you all the pages. I'll put them up on the screen now. I'm just going to be spending a little bit of time creating my bingo page, I think. And then also let me know if you guys would like that as something that you can download. I'm not sure how I'm going to manage to do that, but ask and you shall receive. I'll figure it out somehow. When I finish creating it, I do want to get into book binding. Obviously this is a later stage type thing. I want to book bind a reading journal for myself because I do so much reading and it's fun to see all the little reviews and whatnot. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this writing vlog. Let me know if you did. Pop a comment down in the comments below. Let me know what novel you're working on, if you're working on a novel. I'd love to actually know. I'd love to hear where your thoughts are and what your process is and all of that kind of stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching my stupid little video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!